This is a message for the collective regarding the upcoming new moon in Libra, and it is also the last eclipse of 2024. So we've had a really intense ride with the eclipses starting back in March and April and all the way up until now. This is the last eclipse, so I feel like it's more bringing in the energy of completion and closure to something that may have been coming up in the early part of this year for you, for some of you. For me, certainly, I can, I look back to what was going on in March and April, and I feel like right now there is a kind of culminating energy where things have reached a point ahead where I'm, needing to sift through like what is actually in focus, like what is actually working, what needs to be cleared out. I feel like there's a lot of releasing energy that's going to be coming up during during this week for a lot of people. And I did actually hear that collectively, even too, on a lecture about death. One of the astrologers I listened to was really honing in on the energy of death and renewal. But first of all, closing cycles, in the energy of closing cycles, there may be actual deaths to people, things, relationships, old habits and patterns. There could be endings within work, career, anything. But I feel like right now we are guided to just be more in a personal space with all of this and definitely not taking action. I feel like there's a very inactive energy coming up on this new moon. So, it could be a good moon to take some time to journal, to get a few extra hours of sleep, take a nice bath, do something like in nature, whatever it feels really calming to you. I feel like that's the medicine that's coming through with this new moon. And the moon is also aspecting the south node. So south node energy is usually bringing up things from the past and also karmic energies. So we could be sorting through things that are really old and feeling even expired, or it could be the energy of like, why is that coming up again? Why are we having these resurfaced thoughts about this thing? Or why are we even dreaming about it? The new moon in Libra could be bringing in messages through the dream space as well, because it's such an internal moon, I feel. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and into a little bit of the tarot messages that I'm seeing here for the collective. So we have this really beautiful Fool energy coming in as the very first card. It's also the very first card of the tarot. The Fool is leaping off the cliff, and usually I do see the Fool energy as the actual move forward, but it's interesting because in this case with the energy of closure and everything, I'm seeing it more like an emptying energy and like a complete, like the more of the aspects relating to Fool that are like unknowing and blissful and not necessarily with any purpose actually, but more like just moving intuitively. I feel like, yeah, the purpose is really just for the fun of it with Fool, when Fool comes in, it's not really about like making plans or making the planned leap or anything like that. It's more just like in the moment you feel it. And in the moment you always trust you always trust that, that things are going to work out. If you do take a leap of faith, the universe is going to catch you. This Fool is reminding me of a dream I had last night where I was jumping up and like leaping into like a flying energy. And this is actually how I usually take off in my dreams. If I am going to fly, I kind of like leap a little bit, leap more, and then finally I'm lifted off. And some of you may resonate with that as well or have different methods for flying. But I think the one thing that's pretty consistent about flying is that when you think you're going to fall, or if you think about what could happen, like in a negative sense, it like takes somehow the energy out of the belief and the magic of that presence, and that's when you actually could fall or doubt yourself or trip up in some way. But I feel like in this case we are being guided to really just like surrender and release expectation, release also the Fool takes with him what he needs. He does have some things with him, but he has left a lot behind. And I feel like this is a moment where we do need to figure out what we need to empty to help lighten our load as we're going to be moving forward into the next phase of whatever that is, in your personal journey. So the Fool. Then we have another pretty introverted energy, very introverted energy with the Hermit, but these are both very like solemn or individual, archetypes here, with Fool being on his journey on his own, while he does have a little helper with him. In this one, it's a cat. Usually it's a little white dog. But then we have the Hermit here. So the Hermit is going into the unknown also, and it's a little bit more dark in terms of, you know, where the Fool has a very like bright and optimistic energy, the Hermit can be a little bit more just quiet and reserved and not necessarily pessimistic, but I feel like there's a very personal and even lonely process with the Hermit, where I feel that we are guided to actually like step into the energy of loneliness a little bit right now. I mean, I'm feeling I'm feeling that personally. I'm even feeling from like my readings and interactions with others recently that there's a really strong desire for connection, but um, I feel like the universe is kind of guiding people more towards being their own healer or being their own, you know, solution for loneliness, you know, um, and really finding also comfort and compassion and companionship with divine energy. You know, the divine energy is with us all the time. Our ancestors, the spirits, the energies that walk with us are with us always. And I feel like when we get into the mindset of being alone or being lonely, we somehow are like discounting so many magical influences that are in and around us as well. And, you know, even the billions or millions of particles that are all within us that are living and breathing as well. So I'm getting a little bit philosophical here, but I do feel like that is the point of this Libra new moon, is to get more in the energy of spirit and true essence and spiritual essence. And so I hope that message speaks to you in some way. I'm going to end on a lighter note here with the Ten of Cups being the final card of this message. So actually, Ten of Cups usually does represent a more social energy. I feel like in coming home to ourselves, in feeling our spiritual nature, in feeling just connected also with ourselves and with divine energies and with even collective energies from a personal place, we do create a just lighter vibration overall and a vibration of love frequency, which is also you know, attracting others into our lives, and also it's nurturing the connections that we do have when we're able to spend time with people, when we're in the energy of bliss and love and you know, spiritual awareness as well, more than, you know, transcending the day-to-day you know, little issues and things and all of the like distractions and chaos that's coming up. So there's just, this is also a very peaceful energy. You know, we have Fool being very peaceful, we have the Hermit being peaceful, and then the Ten of Cups is a really serene and you know, energy that also represents completion and just like, you know, this is the overflowing cup. This is when the Ten of Cups, if you imagine like the 10 being the progression of all of the cups just filling up and filling up and filling up, 9 already of cups is already overflowing. 10 of Cups is really having arrived at a sense of wholeness and completion, and I feel like we're guided to arrive to that energy within ourselves through trust and through the spiritual connection and being willing to walk that path, and to not know even what the next step is, but be guided by spirit, right? So I hope that this all speaks to you. I got a little woo-woo-y in this, but I've been in a very spiritual place recently, and so this is just the message that came out. So I hope everybody received it well and that you're having a peaceful and reflective week. And I'm sending you lots of positive energy towards your new moon experience and towards the next cycle, the next journey. Blessings.